Hey guys.
Hi.
Thank you for gathering here.
I feel like we just like tuned into like some religious, like literally it was like, let us pray.
Yes.
Let us
dimmed.
thank.
Let us pod.
Let's speak to the pod gods for a moment and thank them for letting us gather here at the Honestly Same wall, which we have been vigorously growing for the past year, or whenever it was since we last podcasted. Thank you, Brittany, for getting into it. I appreciate
Pod. Pod, damn it.
Easy.
Sorry. We're in the midst of prayer.
Let's all recite the Pod Lord's Prayer together on 3.
Honestly.
What?
It's season 3!
We did it! We're back! Cue the music! Honestly, same.
Ooh, honestly same.
Honestly, same.
Honestly same.
Honestly,
Honestly,
same.
same. Honestly,
Honestly
same.
same. Honestly same.
Honestly, same.
Honestly, same.
Honestly same. Obviously, honestly same, amen are equal, so I just went for it.
You did, and you
Sorry.
nearly said it in your.
I was moved by the pod.
You've been brought to tears. And I know our Samesies have been brought to tears because they are getting a brand new season. Hello,
Yay.
everybody. I thought you were pointing at the wall.
Fireworks coming out of the ceiling.
Do. I'll put them in. I'll edit them in.
Yep.
There's fireworks up there. We paid for those fireworks, folks, with your hard-earned money for supporting us through now 3 full seasons of this show and many, many levels of a Patreon.
Yeah, I think we're up to 69, 60.
Nice.
Let's go higher than 69 and start with 60.
I like how you
68.
I like how you said 69, 60, 60, 70, 60, 75, 60, 80. We're back. We're back. The flowers have regrown. Mm-hmm. They have rebloomed, which means we are back for a brand new season. In case you're new around here, my name is Ross.
My name is Leah.
I'm Brittany.
And the pod gods have allowed us once more to rejoin for a brand new season of Honestly Same. And we figured we would kick off this season with a little bit of a refresher, a little bit of a Q&A, giving you guys, the Samesies, the power over what our new season begins like. Mm-hmm. So this could be dangerous, or it could be great, or it could be somewhere moderately in between.
Usually it's in between.
Well, now we know that Brittany has not enjoyed the previous Q&A episodes.
It's been pretty regular.
It's a 50-50.
I would say they've
it's
been
50-51.
regular
50.
in best. 50, 50, 69, 50, 61.
I spend too much time with Winry because that's what she does with numbers.
That's actually incredible. Well, speaking of numbers, we have many numbers worth of questions to get through. You like that segue?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good segue.
It wasn't really correct as far as like grammatically, but I enjoyed the effort.
Honestly,
610.
Same. Thank
She's
goodness
just
we
yelling
found
numbers.
Really number oriented this season.
After 69 is 60-10. Great. Who wants to start? Leah, you are in the center chair.
I'm in the captain's
You could kick us off with our very first question here.
Our very first question is, what is each of your favorite episode you've done so far? That's a hard one.
Got to go back through my SpongeBob people in my brain are going through the filing cabinet right now.
I don't remember anything we've ever said. I would say I liked last season when we did like a lot of like our like scary movies, like our favorite stuff, because we talk a lot about life, and it was nice to kind of like do something where it was just stuff we enjoy. Mm-hmm. So I love like the games. I think we all kind of like have fun with those.
Yeah, the game ones are fun for sure. Brittany, what's yours?
I would say probably a good mix would be the nostalgia, because it was us yapping about all the things we love, but also like wrapping it around to like our life and really like how we ended up being who we are. Yeah. So that's probably my favorite one.
That's fun.
Nostalgia about the nostalgia episode.
Wow. Yeah. It's been long enough. We can do an episode this season
about that episode?
about our previous seasons. We can get nostalgic about our past seasons. We can do that.
I'm gonna have to watch them all, because I literally, like, when I say I don't remember anything we've said.
Except for the ones that you just mentioned. I don't know. Mine might be the XXX episode, actually. That was just because it was like an out of the comfort zone.
Yeah, we pushed it a little.
Sort of.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, cool. You love talking about dicks and tits.
Did you say dicks and dicks?
Dicks and tits.
Just dicks and more dicks.
I love talking. Hi, I'm Ross. I'm the boy on this show. I love talking about dicks. Yeah, no, I don't know. That one was just like a practice in getting out of a comfort zone.
Yeah,
and I will say, according to the numbers on that episode, the Samesies liked that episode the most. And I mean, I haven't checked numbers in a minute, but the last time I looked, they like that one most.
That's the one I think people would probably like. The most curious people would go to that episode.
Yeah, that one has our highest view and download numbers. So
wow, I
the
don't know how I
Samesies liked
feel
it
about
too.
that.
Yeah.
Now we have to talk about more taboo subjects. So
more dicks.
More dicks.
What do you guys think of dicks and penises?
I feel like there could definitely be like a compilation of all of the sexual jokes from like episode 1. Like if we did actually have to do a rewatch, we would have like probably like hours of footage.
Wow, I should edit together a best of episode, but it's all just
a highlight reel.
Yes, of every episode.
My gosh. Do like season 1, season 2, and then eventually
that'd be a lot easier. Yep, cool. I'll get on that right now.
I'm putting my stamp of approval on it. Just make it happen.
Okay, yes. Whose turn is it? Is it where are we going that way?
I just went. So if you want to go,
okay,
Brittany?
I'll go. Okay, what's the coolest thing you've gotten to do in the past year?
Okay.
I feel like I've done a lot of cool things in the last year. I actually started making a note on my phone the other day. I won't get out the note, but the top 3 that I can think of is family vacation, first real family vacation to Salem.
Love that.
Beginning of October. And then seeing Sapple. That's Sabrina and Chapel mixed. Jesus. Sabrina and Chapel, and taking Winry to Sabrina was probably the coolest thing that I did this year. Cause
that is amazing.
I don't know if she'll remember, but like the beauty of like being able to take a quick video.
No,
because
that
I
will
think
like
it
live
jogs.
in her brain
That's so
forever.
sick.
You know what I mean?
I love
like,
that.
I'm jealous.
I really
of her.
hope so, because she just like her eyes were as big as the moon all night. So that will be with me forever.
That is incredible.
Yeah,
I love the little video of her like singing along.
Yeah, that was
it.
the greatest thing ever. A couple quick hits for me would be one, moving in with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
That was a big life change, but it has been the coolest of life changes. And then I would also say doing my first live improv show.
Yep.
That was very fun. That got checked off the list this year. That was an absolute blast. And yeah, I'll go with those. Those are two initial
really,
ones
really good
that pop up. Yep.
Yeah.
Mine for sure. I literally was like, what did I do this year? Going on tour was something I never really knew if I was going to get to do again. And it's like a fever dream now. It like came and went, and I'm like, oh. That was definitely really cool. And then literally just because it's fresh in my mind, the Ren Fair this weekend, I got to go. It was my first time ever, and I loved the Ren Fair.
Nice. Did you
so
dress
much
up?
fun. I dressed up. I like light dressed up. Okay. And what I mean by that is I had lots of stuff in my closet already that I was like, I can just put this on and it will work. But of course I got there and then I saw all the beautiful, like amazing things that people created. And I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
But it's expensive. So if anybody wants to just give me some garb for the Renaissance Fair
or some fair trade with
yeah.
You can trade services.
You want hair done? I give you hair. You give me Ren
3 chickens.
garb.
3 chickens to carry to the Ren Fair.
That will be my outfit. That's the part. I'm the chicken wrangler.
Yes,
Love it.
you would fit in perfectly, and then you could trade those chickens for other cooler things at the Ren Fair.
Wow, it's like that guy on YouTube who trades a paperclip and he just slowly like ends up at a mansion somehow.
That's real? I always thought that was just an episode of Ed, Edd and Eddy.
Can we say, I just think it's so funny that whole show is just like children like, let's create this scheme so that we can have this crazy thing where we scam people out of their money so we can have jawbreakers.
Yes,
let's
absolutely.
commit fraud.
That's childhood, baby.
It was never a legitimate thing. It was like, let's commit fraud as to buy candy.
And it never worked.
No.
Folks, let that be a lesson out there.
Yeah,
For any of you Eddies out there.
Don't commit fraud. Don't do scam.
Don't commit fraud, but do give us all of your money so we can have all the jawbreakers we would like for every season of this show.
And Ren Fair garb. I want the ears.
You hear us, Eddie and Susie?
Patreon Susie.
Who's Eddie?
Yeah, Eddie's in the Patreon now.
Eddies.
Oh.
Eddie. Who's Eddie?
I was like, what
I don't know.
Every
Ed,
question we're like, Susie, Eddie.
Just giving
All right,
everybody
Eddie.
like, this was supposed to be anonymous.
What do you want to know?
It is anonymous. I'm just
Yes.
I misunderstood.
But I would like to know who asked this question. We couldn't have made it too far into the episode without something just silly, ridiculous. Ask real questions, folks. Just kidding. This one's fun. How much money to take you all out on a date asking for a friend? Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation.
I guess it depends on where we're going, because if you're going to buy the food, we'll be there.
Yeah, like we're not an expensive date. It really depends on the restaurant.
Yeah. But do give us money before the date, though.
Yeah.
If you're going to pay us and then also take us on the date.
That will work. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's kind of just a meet and greet.
Yeah.
You're kind of just asking for a meet and greet.
With food involved.
Which is fine.
Just tell us where to be.
They want to meet and greet. Meet, M-E-A-T, like meet.
Greet my meat, you know?
See?
That's what they're trying to do.
More dicks.
More dicks.
We need a lot of money then, if that is where we're going with this.
A lot of money. A lot of money is your answer.
the answer.
A lot of money. Subscribe to our top tier of Patreon and then give us some more money. And then let us also pick the restaurant where we're going. And then you buy the food. So
this is lovely. This really segues into our next question perfectly, Leah.
Which is Leah perfectly. I'm glad you're getting this one.
Update on Leah doing an OnlyFans?
I
don't know why this needs an update or why it's been.
I felt like last time you were like, you know what? I've really been thinking about
Stick around, guys, and I'll let you know next season.
Hang on to hope. You know, maybe I'll finally know.
This is 3 seasons worth
I
of
have no prospects of
also
of
just
doing so.
This person really needs to just be brave and come out and just name your fucking price.
It's probably Nick.
They're like, they want something very specific. It's Nick who wants something very specific, but I won't do it for him.
He's like, maybe if I get behind a paywall.
Yeah, she'll have no idea it's me. And I'll be like, that's that one weird thing you always want me to do.
Is so weird. The Eddie X _
Eddie X.
Meet me at midnight.
Oh my gosh.
Says he wants you to squeeze a jawbreaker between your butt cheeks. I don't know what he's saying. So yeah, folks, you can pay to take us all on a date, but Leah's not gonna make an OnlyFans. Listen, we're 3 seasons in.
Yeah.
It's time to put the joke to bed. R.I.P. to the OnlyFans. It's not happening. Sorry, it's been sacrificed to the pod gods now.
And you need to repent for your sins for asking.
Yes.
To the pod gods.
It was our fault for the trailer joke of me being a dominatrix. It was just
That's really true,
said it was a joke. It was funny.
I only do it on the weekends.
I only do it on the weekends. Hypothetically, if I were to do it, it would take a lot of money.
And we're not filming anything. I'm just gonna yell at you while you're tied up to something. Make you feel bad about yourself. You need the budget better. You'll be sitting there with your arms tied up. I've got a whip.
You're giving away way too much free content right now.
You're giving them imaginations right now.
With your arms tied up.
Yeah, say it a little softer.
It was That's what he was doing in the trailer, guys.
Spoiler alert, that was Nick.
Hire Brittany as your manager.
Not Eddie.
She just reeled you in real good at the right time.
You were like, that was $1,000 comment.
She looked at me like, we're going to be paying for this now.
Reel it.
Hey, cut it out.
Speaking of cut it out, let's move on to the next question.
I love this segue. Favorite holiday traditions?
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like we really just leaned into the nostalgia and do all of the ones that you would think, like cookies for Santa, threatening that Santa can see the kids. It's a fun tradition for me.
Great.
My favorite one, getting the Amazon book or whatever book in the mail and then letting them circle everything. When we did it the other day, she did circle 90% of the book, but she used a different color for Ambrose and circled for him.
That's incredible.
I was like, I think you would like these things. Yeah. So
I love that.
She's like, I would also like these things, but it looks like something he might like.
As long as they're in the house, she'll be like, yeah, that's fine. We just did pumpkin carving. Zach gets to go to school tomorrow and paint pumpkins with Winry. Peeps with pumpkins is what it's called.
Oh my God.
So
you don't get to go?
No, only one parent, but I'll do the gingerbread house making this year.
Oh, okay.
We switch.
Even split.
That's amazing.
Split.
Yeah, I mean, I get to eat candy. He just has to paint a pumpkin, which is so fun, but we just...
That's pretty great.
I'd rather eat the candy.
Exactly.
You can't eat the pumpkin.
Yeah. So all the ones that you think are the ones that we're doing.
It wouldn't probably be as enjoyable.
Not for me.
You'd be the weird parent for sure. You could be.
They would be like, yeah, send the dad next time.
There's
don't bring her back.
Kid eating glue. They're like, I wonder how that happened. Cuts to parent.
Eating a big slice of pumpkin.
Just biting like it's like an apple.
I can only imagine.
You really can't taste the paint. Just bite right through it.
This is child safe, right?
Favorite holiday traditions. Honestly, I'm not currently a big holiday person. I haven't been. That probably comes from like living by yourself as an adult for like the last 5 years. I'm not really, I mean, sure, spooky Halloween
Grinch.
Traditions, but I'm getting to it. I hate when the townspeople have fun with their days. I've had no reason to really have holiday traditions, to be honest, outside of like watch a bunch of spooky stuff during Halloween, but that's not that different from all year round for me, to be honest. But I will say, I'll answer this question with a caveat of I'm looking forward to seeing what types of holiday traditions I start to enjoy now living with Krista and her kids and like having a reason and a family to like do things with and a dog and a cat. Having a reason to actually be a part of traditions and celebrate that stuff. So I feel like it's going to open the door to like, oh, wow, now I like this. Otherwise, I don't really have anything to go off of outside of like things when I was a kid. I could, go back to that, but I don't really have any current holiday traditions. I'm looking forward to experiencing some.
We'll have to touch base on this again next season.
Yes, next season Q&A.
Yeah, maybe we'll have like a little holiday update or something, and you can just tell us all the fun stuff you've been doing.
Yes, perfect. Let's check in. It's Ross's holiday check-in now.
And you can make a list of all of the reasons that you've had to pull Santa up as a threat.
God.
Yes.
And I will drink eggnog. It will be great.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
Incredible. Honestly, same holiday special coming your way this Christmas.
Santa hats and everything.
I was going to say, you can just edit a Santa hat. You have a lot to do on this episode.
We don't need to go buy the dollar Santa hat. You can edit it.
I will Photoshop them, video edit them in.
CGI that so that it looks good with my hair.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, track it with everybody's heads. Absolutely.
Yes.
Leah.
For holiday traditions for us, it kind of changes just depending on like the year. Like I feel like we've done something different every year, just pretty much for every holiday. Christmas, a lot of the time we'll travel and we'll go to like either where family is, or we'll meet up in like a place that's like equidistant from everybody. And we did that like the last couple of years. This year I feel like we're going to be probably at home doing some like more low-key stuff. My sister just moved into Columbus, and I feel like we'll probably have some newer stuff like tradition-wise maybe now that she's here. And then I feel like like Halloween time we do a lot more of like intentional scary movie watching. I feel like it's like instead of all right like movie TV show, like what do you want to watch, it's like do you want to watch a movie, like a scary movie, or a TV show? Like it's like if we're watching a movie right now, it's pretty much like guaranteed to be a scary movie. And we haven't done pumpkins yet because, as you guys know, Nick loves to let the pumpkins rot on my front porch.
Yes.
For the entire year.
I think last year's
there you go. Yeah. Hey, that's it. That's the one.
Mm-hmm.
That's the tradition. I don't like it. I don't want to be part of it. I don't really
he will keep it up. Don't you worry.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to
honestly,
do much.
Being forced into tradition is very traditional of many traditions. So I think that really fits, to be honest.
I think that's the one. We made it.
That's the one.
I love it.
That's the ultimate tradition.
Yes.
Is it me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, what music have you been listening to most lately? I feel like we had this question maybe in a past Q&A, and I feel like maybe my answer was the same if it was this year.
I can tell you what your answer was.
What was it?
I'm really getting into folk music right now.
Yes, and I'm still into that, and I have not stopped listening to Medium Build. The artist Medium Build has undoubtedly will be my number one Spotify top played artist this year. I have zero doubts. I literally have not stopped listening to Medium Build nonstop. Another artist, Levi Turner. Remember that one day where I told you about Levi Turner and then asked you if I said that name or something, and it was very confusing. I was like, oh yeah, I've been listening to this guy named Levi Turner, and I looked at him on Spotify. I was like, did I say Levi Turner? Because wait, I meant Levi Turner. And you were like, what the fuck are you talking about?
1000% remember this.
Yeah, still in the folk era, very much. It's Medium Build every day.
Okay, all right. I think my Spotify Wrapped this year will definitely be like very like pop girly. Like it usually kind of is. A lot of Chaperone. Thank you for that. Because Brittany introduced us to Chaperone.
I bullied everyone, and then
It was very gentle. You were like, here it is.
Here
and
it is.
Yeah,
I will be
great.
listening in my car. You go in your car right now, put your keys in.
Yes.
go to your ride. Like, let's go.
Put your seatbelt on. Turn it up. Yep.
Yeah,
nope.
because I'm worried about your
Buckled
safety,
you each
bitch.
in. Plugged your phones in.
Yeah.
School, do Spotify. Yes.
Yeah. No, this is how you spell it. It's a little confusing.
Yeah. Real quick before we go.
Chaperone, Sabrina Carpenter, Olivia Rodrigo. I love all the pop girlies. I feel like that's been...
It's a new age thing that's like coming back through.
So I feel like I've been doing a lot of that, and then also on like the other half of stuff, I still love doing all of my like soundtracky stuff. And then recently I've been getting into the White Stripes. So I was listening recently to was actually Jack White's most recent album, which is like No Name. It's like blue, and it's pretty good.
I love
I'm liking it.
Nice.
Mine would be right now. Suki Waterhouse is my top artist. Probably my top album this year, which is crazy because the Taylor Swift album came out this year, which I also love. But the Suki Waterhouse album, I just feel like it's very like. It's based in like the 70s and 80s, the way everything sounds. And I think that like in a car, it feels like you're in like a time capsule, if that makes sense. Like you're in your car, there's nothing else going on. It's only like the music you hear, which is bouncing off of the windows, if you're anything like me. And that, it's just like a really like transformative album.
Yeah,
Highly recommend.
You got your movie soundtrack going when you're driving.
I do.
That's incredible. Yeah, go check all those out, folks.
Yeah.
Yay.
Was that you? No, that was me. Now it's you.
Yeah, it's me now. It's my turn now. All caps. Where's the merch? I'm so glad you asked because we have it now.
It's here. It's on the interwebs. And if you're a real good Samesy, by the time this episode's released, you're going to see links for it everywhere. So it's out there.
Be wearing it.
So past you asked a question that future you now gets to reap the benefit of.
Yes.
It's there. Or you're in it. Yeah, who knows? By the time this is out,
you're in it.
You might be in it right now getting this question answered, and you are so very welcome.
I want anyone that gets it to send us a picture so we can just like have collages of
that would actually be great. Yeah, if you buy Honestly Same merch, please take a selfie and send it to us and tag us so we can use that.
We could make a collage.
That would be amazing.
We'll like hang you guys up somewhere.
For real.
Yeah, you want to be on the Honestly Same wall? Send us a selfie of you in the merch.
Really, what I want is you to do like pap walks in your Honestly Same merch. I need someone taking a picture of you on the street where it is candid. And we will write a news story about you. We're going to write a news story about you. Don't worry. I got it. I don't have much going on at home. And we'll give you your own little life. And we'll say, Susie's wearing this Honestly Same shirt. She's on her way to rob that bank behind her, etc. You get the point.
I would actually love to make up stories of what our Samesies were doing in the photo. That's a genius idea. Do what Brittany said.
People that we
I
know.
mean it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do what Brittany just said.
I'm only using Susie because she's our number one fan. But any of you.
Take a pap smear. A pap what?
A pap smear.
What'd you say?
Get a pap smear.
Get a pap smear in your Honestly Same merch. You send us a photo of that.
Did you say schmear?
Samesy for life. Pap smear.
Pap walk, guys.
Pap walk.
Pap walk.
Pap walk.
Please do not get confused.
Smear.
Actually,
one.
yeah.
Please don't send us a pap smear. Please don't.
No, don't do that.
The cape up. Okay, not cape down.
Honestly, same shirt over the cape. Yes. Please. Pay attention.
Okay.
Brittany.
Yep. One big goal for 2025. Wow. That's so close and also so far away. It literally feels like March, I would say, for me.
Is
that's
when
fair.
It kicks in that like that's the new year.
Yeah, so like we just got into 2024.
It feels like
I still
feels very March 2017 to me.
RT.
I'm feeling very March 2017 right now.
It's in the air.
Some oak notes.
I got to think about this one.
I know. I'm not really sure.
Like before 2025 or like
I think like for the year is how I would take it. Like something you want to do in 2025.
I want to read more books.
Okay.
I feel like I probably said that this year. I always want to read more books, but I never make time for it. But this year I have made time. I haven't read like as many as I would like because
you're reading big books though.
Yeah, but I
the
feel like
encyclopedia and stuff.
yeah, I have a dictionary
She
by
did
my
just
bed.
finish the dictionary.
Yeah.
A dictionary.
Yeah, so I always am like, I always feel like I'm not reading enough, even when I'm reading it all. I feel like is probably enough for me to feel like I'm doing something with my brain, but still no.
Yeah.
It will never be enough.
Fair.
One of my big ones for 2024 was reading.
Yeah.
And I'm doing pretty good with it. But I feel like even if I didn't hit my goal, it's still like genuinely reading feels like you're really like getting something done.
Yeah, it makes you feel like you're consuming media in a way that feels intellectual because you're reading something, even though there are books that are about really dumb stuff.
You know, but it's still like firing the neurons up there.
Yeah, you know, just
We all read
gets the
Podcasting for
juices.
Dummies
Yeah.
to start this show.
Yeah, we
read
all
that
know
book.
all about
Boy,
it.
it's going so well for us. I would say I don't really know. I would love to make something that I sold as a form of income. Because next year Winter will be in kindergarten. So if Ambrose decides to be brave and go to preschool, then I will have a few hours of the day where I can like genuinely hone in on something that is not raising a child. So that's what's in the back of my head.
Love that.
Yeah.
Big fan of that.
Thank you. Many thanks.
I would say mine would be to shoot and direct my first feature film. We almost did it this year and then decided to play it safe and back off and not do it. So I really think 2025 will be enough window of time to get everything back together and make that happen. So yeah, 2025, first feature-length movie will be done.
So you guys have all these like big ambitions. I'm like, I want to read some books.
I mean, you'll be
I want
smarter
to put
than
out.
us. at
I
the
want
end
to
of it.
put more music out too. That's
There we
like-
go.
You
Yeah.
literally learned an instrument this year.
I did. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like,
That was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I don't still feel like I play. Like people are like, no, you're a bass player, and I'm like, no,
Yeah,
I can only
imposter
I can play
syndrome.
these songs only, and they're like, that's more than people that don't play bass though. So
Yes.
yeah, I'm still yeah, going through the processing of that in my brain a little bit.
yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, funniest story from high school. And we do have past high school episodes
We do.
where you can
Yeah.
dig into really
Oh, man.
a lot of these stories of many different shapes and sizes.
Sometimes I lie. So like, who knows what I said in previous before I answer this?
It has been well
completely
established.
contradict whatever you say.
Yeah, I
It's
might.
been very well established over 3 seasons that Brittany loves lying. So who knows what her story might have been back on those episodes. If you want to take a deep dive into our high school worlds, that's like a season 1
I do,
episode,
yeah.
right? It probably came
It
back
is.
up in season 2, I bet. And here it is in season 3.
Yep. You can't escape it.
Man, what's a funny high school story that I feel like I haven't told? Do you guys, do either of you have
I don't know
one
if
that
there's
immediately
one
jumps
that
out?
I like genuinely have.
or it's
Me
a
popping
worth,
my knee out of the socket is always my go-to. I'm sorry, I don't have that many. I'm not that fun. I guess I don't have that many funny stories.
but the song that came from that.
I mean,
Been
yeah,
heard
that's
around
just
the
like
world.
if what comes of this episode is someone goes back and listens to that episode just to like hear the song,
Just to
and
hear the Leah
experience
Does
it
the
all.
Worm song.
Yeah, like that's worth it.
Wow. Can we end the episode all singing it together? I would love that. I would feel good about that.
I don't remember.
I was gonna
it
say,
all the
I feel
way.
like hopefully I will remember
Oh,
it.
I remember it.
Ocean big and ocean scary. Yeah, you sing it every day.
I do.
You get in the car and that's your soundtrack.
I get in the car. You're putting on Sapple Roan
I'm
and
Sapple truly.
I'm cranking. There was Leah with the bar.
That's how it starts.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. Believe me.
he's like, this is the beginning. Of
Don't
it.
worry, folks. If you want to hear the whole song, stick around to the end of the episode. So your worm story.
Yeah, in
Yeah, I
the
would
same
say
vein,
that's
mine
it.
would be when I fell down the stairs. I've told this story for sure. And I pretended to faint because, like, what else was I going to do? I already fell down the stairs. So then I
did
just
not
laid
know
there
you
dead.
pretended to
Yeah.
You didn't say that part.
Oh, I did. That's what makes it funny.
Pretended to faint.
Yeah, I just lay there like for like way too long,
Oh my
like to the dead
God.
zone. Like, like shake. No, this is when I start lying. Sorry, guys, but I did pretend to faint. That's
Oh my
true.
gosh.
If anyone remembers that,
Wow.
it was it was the movie like set staircase where it's like the really big one, not a narrow one, the one that like leads down to like
Hell?
the she's so hot. Like that's what you would be walking down
Okay.
at prom, but this
Yes.
was
Okay. This was what the Price
But it's
is
the
Right.
prom
wasn't it, or something?
staircase, right? Like the one that like you would walk down slowly with your dress, and everyone would be like,
Oh.
yes, that's the one I fell down
And fainted.
Oh my god.
and pretended to faint. I may have really fainted from embarrassment, for all I know.
You're like, this corset is too
I
tight
just
on
was-
my prom dress.
I just was like, I just need to lay here for a minute with my eyes closed. So whether it was pretend or not, I did do that.
And someone came and saved you?
But that laying there for
I
a
felt
minute
like
could have
too
been
long. Like they didn't want to come up to me.
That
You're,
would
like,
have made the
peeking out.
difference between laughing at someone who just fell down the stairs and being concerned for somebody that just fell down
Exactly.
the
So I
stairs.
wanted
Genius.
the concern versus
Yeah. If you fall, faint. Just commit and faint.
Yeah,
Yeah.
commit to the bit. I had to.
Yeah, they can't be upset with you or make fun of you if you have
Exactly.
died.
No one's
They
gonna-
might give you
Exactly.
Yeah, they might give you a popsicle.
Yeah, I
They
probably
could.
got to go to the nurse's office and everything.
Yeah. Or you could pretend to dislocate your kneecap.
Yeah.
Or you could actually,
Pretend.
if you really want attention.
Just push your whole kneecap over to the side for fun. Everyone will think it's so funny at the end of the day.
Look how funny we think it is.
Yeah,
we
it's true.
have a blast
I
with that
remember
story.
specifically having a friend come up to me like years later and she goes, "Your screams are like live
God.
rent free in my brain."
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's like every band on
Yeah, I love
Warped
that.
Tour's wish if someone said that to them. Oh wait, I didn't say. Did I tell the story about how I cheated on tests and then the whole grade cheated on tests because of me and then I'm the only one that got away with it?
Yes.
I've told that. Okay. I pooped my pants. I
pooped
told
your
that story.
pants.
Yeah,
you
I
definitely
told that.
the poopy pants story. Put it in a bag.
I know there was way more. Put it in the bag.
Go listen to that episode.
Yeah, go. Go
no,
find
now
that
I'm
one.
remembering. Spoiler alert. Undies in the trash can?
Undies in the trash can is yes, that's accurate. I mean, man, I can't think of anything else.
I guess we're
funny
gonna
that
have to
happened.
have them resort back to the high school.
Yeah, if
episode.
you really want a full
I
story,
mostly just
go
don't want to
back and-
repeat myself. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if I say something, you'll be like, "Well, we already know that one." Which
Yeah,
I literally
guys.
did. You already know.
There was
that
Leah.
one, but
she was doing the worm.
Smash her kneecap off the ground.
Whose turn is it?
Oh my god, I forget the rest of it. This is a problem. No, it's gone. Someone go. I gotta remember this
was that
song.
you?
Okay, it's you.
That was
Leah,
me.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
okay. What's the weirdest part of this last year for you each? Weirdest part? I don't know. We kind of went a while in between season 2 and season 3, which is a little bit weird because we all had like a lot of random stuff that came up. So that felt weird. I don't know what the weirdest part of this year would be.
For me, mine's mine would be just being off of social media. It's been something to navigate. Not weird in a bad way, but weird in the fact that it's just me.
In the
Over
world.
here.
Yes. Yes.
Not on social media. And like the FOMO is weird because I traditionally am very much like exclude me until I want to be included. But then when you start missing everything, there's like different feelings about it. But still not weird in a bad way.
Yeah.
But different. Definitely like a different experience.
Yeah. I feel like mine is very career-like, where I feel like this year, if you have listened to seasons past, I feel like the biggest thing I was navigating was like loneliness and feeling like I didn't have a place and all that sort of stuff, where this year I feel like everything flipped, where I'm like, oh, personal life is like the best it's ever been, and creative life is like the best it's ever been, and you know, all this stuff that I did over the years like paid off. But then it like flipped where what I do for work as a freelance self-employed creative, I literally despise now. And so navigating having like not only a big burnout feeling with that, but at times almost a near like despise hatred feeling.
Ick. You got the ick.
An ick. Yeah. Catching the ick for a lot of the creative work that I do for others, not for myself. Again, tons of fun stuff there. But yeah, I feel like that's been probably the weirdest thing to navigate this year, is actually sitting and being like, oh no, I actually hate kind of the things that I do right now for clients, and I really, really need that to change, and I despise it. So yeah,
But you're doing
that's
it. You're
probably mine.
changing it up.
Yes, doing the work, absolutely. But yeah, that's the weirdest thing for me.
Yeah. I think mine's just getting back into music. Like trying to get back fully into music.
Yeah, you
Because-
did. You just
Yeah, I mean,
genuinely
you
were like,
did-
and I'm leaving for tour
Yeah, I was
tomorrow.
like-
Yeah,
By the way.
back in a band, back on a tour,
Yeah.
navigating
trying
all
to
the
get
things
like
that.
fully back into it feeling confident in what I'm doing, writing music that does things that I've never done before. So it's just like, it's weird because I like that I'm challenging myself, and I also hate that I'm challenging. You know what I mean? Like you hate the feeling of being uncomfortable when you're doing something challenging, but like overcoming that obviously is like when
Everything.
you feel your best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for it, but it has been weird, like trying to access that like part of my brain again.
I think we just all did really well answering that, because like going like within and trying to figure out something like weird going on is such an interesting thing to have to like try to dissect. But all of these things are weird and different for us, especially compared to like last season.
That's also a good question for whoever asked that, because that's a really good way to like set up a new season. Technically, that person I feel like thought about that question. Like that's a good like.
Ross is like, I put in that question.
Hey, whoever did that one must be super fucking smart.
Loved the bucket list episode. Give us one more bucket list item each.
Ooh.
So the one thing I will say about this that I'm very upset about is I missed the Northern Lights both times.
Yeah,
and that was on my bucket list.
I had no idea.
It was very much you had to use your camera in
Yeah.
order to even
So
see
I
it.
still-
So it wasn't like naked eye, you like missed something.
Yeah, I didn't miss like an anomaly with my own two eyes.
Correct.
So I still cannot check that off my bucket list. To add something to my bucket list, do you guys have any while I think about this?
One more bucket list item. I'm just going to cheat and pull mine up because I have a note with mine in it. So while you guys think, I'm going to look.
So you guys are both thinking is what you're saying.
Yeah, Leah, what you got?
Okay. There's a lot of things I want to do before I die. But I don't remember what I said on the last episode. I know I said I wanted to go to the Australia Zoo.
Yes, you did.
I think we all said we would jump out of a plane together.
We did. I said I wanted to. This isn't adding one, but I still very much want to do a children's book.
Yeah. I've thought about making a children's show on YouTube, like Miss Rachel.
Cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel
You'd
like
be
you would
amazing.
kill
You'd be
that.
so amazing.
I feel like it would be
You would
Easy
kill
money.
that.
Yeah.
easy money.
You should. I'm going to
Kids
be
love me. They're
upset with you if you don't do it.
Oh, sorry.
You can dress up.
I already have a character, like, and everything I think that I would want to do. But maybe if you helped me, Ross, actually, and did the whole thing, and then all I had to do
And I just had to show up.
show up.
Wait a
is like,
second.
"Do it."
That's how most people pitch me their ideas they really want me involved in. You really should do that though.
No,
it would
that's
be fun.
great.
It
Yeah.
would be a really
Like
fun
legitimately do that. Mine, I'm just gonna throw do a stand-up comedy set. I don't think I mentioned that one before. It was
I
probably
don't
more
think so either.
improv.
Yeah.
And I checked that off the list this year.
You did.
Yeah.
So I got that one done. So yeah, we'll toss that one on there. I would like to do a stand-up comedy set.
How
and
long
I actually,
would you want? Like, what time limit?
I mean, if I'm talking realistically, I would check it off the list if I went and did a 5-minute open mic set, because I'd be like, I did it.
Yeah.
I did it.
I feel like that's a good one though, because it is something that like everybody, it's like doing karaoke, but like not everybody does karaoke in their lifetime. Like they might sit and watch people do it, but like actually getting up and doing the thing, like for some people is really hard. And I feel like that's something that like you'd be so good at, and it would be so easy for you to just go and check that off for sure, that I feel like that's very obtainable.
Yeah,
Probably for in the next year you could probably do
I agree.
that.
It's oddly, I feel like improving anything, I'm like, yeah, I got it. When I think of writing a joke, I'm like, I've never thought of one fucking funny thing
In my entire
in
life.
my life. I don't know how to.
If you have a funny like sequence of thoughts, I just pulled my hair.
Yeah.
Just like write it in.
yeah,
a note.
I need to. I've
I
been
do that all
trying
the time,
to,
and then I look at it later, and I'm like, I'm not funny.
Yeah, I would probably just open mic it, do a 5-minute set. I do have a very specific idea for filming a stand-up special, like a very
fun.
specific idea that I would almost just do to do it and be like, yep, I have a stand-up special. It's an idea that I love so much.
Okay.
I love it so much.
He gets to dress up as a wrestler.
Yes, and I pretend to be John Cena, and I'm like, hello, it's me, John Cena.
This is my stand-up.
And they're like, all right, it's been 5
Cena.
minutes. Get off the stage.
They're like, ah, shit, no, let me back on.
Okay.
Is that everybody? Yeah.
Did you say
yeah.
yours?
Yeah, I said I went back to children's book.
Children's book,
Oh,
children's
okay,
show,
okay.
stand-up set aimed at children. That's what I'll do.
Children's stand-up.
Children's stand-up.
We're all
set.
about the kids this year.
Yeah, we're really supporting the children.
Did either of you watch Mr. Crockett yet?
I haven't yet. I want to.
Highly recommend. Me and Zach watched it and really, really liked it.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. I did recently watch Longlegs. Finally.
It's still on my list. We actually were going to watch that, but then we watched Salem's Lot, and it was scary, the new one.
The series?
Haven't seen it.
No, this is a movie.
Oh, it's a movie? I thought it was a
HBO.
series.
Netflix might be doing a series.
Okay.
I don't
okay.
know. All right, I think it's you, Ross.
Something you miss from childhood. This is a very targeted question at this show. We have talked often of nostalgia. Something I miss
Like
from
just
childhood.
right in this moment, like if you think about like what you're missing currently from your childhood.
I think maybe, going off the holiday thing, maybe just how special holidays used to feel. Like that, just the vibe of
literal
like
feeling.
Yeah.
the literal feeling that you almost like can't describe, where it's like when it's becoming fall and like spooky season wasn't just like a trend on the internet. It was like, oh my God, there's leaves and people put pumpkins out and like that's and like scary movies are on TV. This is the only way we can watch them. This is incredible. And I mean, going into Christmas, just like how Christmas fell and like, so yeah, maybe the actual just nostalgic feeling of what holidays used to feel like, and wasn't everything on like having life be like 100 miles an hour at all times, and like
Yeah.
you
Correct.
can barely kind of feel the things sometimes.
Yeah.
The days are long and the years are short.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I would say mine, like, just in this very moment, Nick and I were talking about this recently, and they still make these, but I just, like, left them in my childhood for some reason, so I need to go get one. The Yoplait whips, the key lime pie Yoplait
Oh,
whips.
yeah, those bad boys are still in production.
Yeah, they still make them, and I need to go get one, because I remember eating those a lot, like,
I always
as a
had the
kid.
creamsicle ones.
Yeah, it was so good, and I looked it up recently and I was like, these still exist. Why am I not getting them? But you know what does not exist anymore? Yogos.
Because
You
they
guys-
were killing people.
What?
Babies. Yogos, yeah. The yogurt covered yogurt.
It was like yogurt
Kinda,
covered
right?
yogurt.
What?
I think it was like a gummy, like some
Yogurt
kind of like
ball.
a yogurt ball, but it was like yogurt wrapped around like a like not gusher, but like a gummy like
A jawbreaker?
fruit roll up kind of a.
I had never
A
had those.
choking hazard is what
It's,
they
it's
were.
what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Good riddance.
So are M&Ms. They're the same size. Like
I like M&Ms.
Yogos are too circular, Leah. I'm even worried for you to choke on them. Don't if you find them, don't eat them.
Put down the Yogo.
Put down the Yogos. Mine is weird, but I've been thinking about it a lot.
I thought you were going to say
recently.
weed.
Mine is weed. I really
Mine is
miss when I was a child. I just partaked in the devil's lettuce at 7 years old. Okay, sorry. Mine is being a lot significantly shorter than I am and what the world looked like down there. Like
Oh,
taking
I
the
see.
kids to Chuck E. Cheese.
take a walk in my shoes, sister.
I'm pretty sure we're the same height. Taking the kids to Chuck E. Cheese, and you know everything from like where I'm standing is like kind of sterile, whatever. If you like get down on your knees, everything's like lighting up and glowing,
Dang.
and you're like faced with it. You know, when we're like getting leaves out of the like yard, and when he jumps in a pile that is the size of my foot, but it fills her whole body. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
great.
a different world down there.
That's true. Down there, I want to live down there with. Isn't that?
Are you trying to sing The Little Mermaid?
Yes.
No, that's not it. Those are not. the
It must
words.
have been close because you knew what I was aiming
I
for.
actually had. I thought you were doing Hunchback of Notre Dame.
He sounded like
Spend
the
one
Hunchback
day
of
out
Notre
there.
Dame.
If I could spend one day out there.
Beautiful.
You're like doing harmonies with me right now.
Yeah,
Look at
because
that.
we
Look
are
at us.
talented.
Why do we have a podcast? We should just be out on the road right now.
We will talk in front of people and do this and maybe
And break
sometimes-
into songs.
Sometimes
we'll
sing.
sing a song.
Who's up?
Was that?
Something you missed? Was that me? I think the
I think
childhood
that
thing
was
was me.
you. Yeah. Okay. So it's me. What's something popular you think is overrated? Oh wow, those Stanley cups. We found out like they also have like lead paint in them.
Yeah.
Of course.
Sorry, I know you have one.
I
don't
don't
you?
have a Stanley.
Oh, okay. I was like, you just went, yeah. I was like, oh, she's
Yes,
Uh-huh.
she's giving me sense. She's like,
I agree.
They're super fucking dangerous.
no,
have a
I
Stanley.
just was like, I remember seeing the prices on some of them, and I was like, I will stick with my. I don't know how much this was from Meyer, probably, and be
You're a
completely
Meyer
fine.
girl. My girl.
Girl.
That's what I'm trying
You're a
to
my girl.
Listen, it's the target that's less targety.
Yeah.
It's just they have
Untargeted.
Yeah.
It's
I
great.
shop at Untargeted.
There's a
don't have
Ross
Meijer,
store.
So no.
Yes, there is. I own them. Everyone
Shitty
go
chain.
shop.
Give your employees the holidays off.
Shitty chain.
All right, what's something overrated? Popular overrated.
Ross
so-
stores.
I firmly try not to shit on things that people love.
Yeah,
now's
let
the
people
time.
like things.
Yeah. But I have to agree with the Stanleys because of the like pandemonium around it.
Yeah.
Like going and getting like 15 and then selling them for double the price. Like, and they're water
Yeah.
bottles. Like I have a lot of different merch from different things and we collect a lot of things and a lot of people would say that that's waste. But like the whole point of like a reusable water bottle is to reuse it.
Yeah.
So there is
And
an
they're mass
overratedness.
producing
Yes.
these things that will break down way slower than an actual like
Mm-hmm.
plastic water bottle. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With lead poisoning as well.
I don't know. I'm kind of struggling to come up with one. The first thing that comes to my mind, I don't know, you tell me if this counts or not. I feel like being an influencer of any sort, like using social media in that way, not just to like...
Hey, I guess I won't be the next Miss Rachel. Whatever. Ross is like, you should really get out of that mindset. I don't want to have to be involved in that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he's
just
gotta-
think being an influencer, I don't know, something like Miss
think
Rachel would
YouTube
kind of
is really
suck.
going down right
I think
now.
YouTube sucks. Yeah, I don't know, but like the shitty side of it, like the
Yeah.
attention grabbing, like and I don't know, maybe
And
that's
it's also become this,
not
like-
a good answer for this because it's kind of so
We took away
large. I don't know.
like what an influencer was and now you can just and it's always kind of been you can be paid to say whatever but now they're all paid to say the same thing
And it's just cringy. It's just landed in the cringe
Yeah.
territory, and everybody just
Well, it's
wants
all-
the attention. It's not to like,
It's all become advertising.
yes,
Yeah.
it's like not to create. It's not to storytell. Not to say no one is. There's definitely people who do to like do good, and they become an influencer, all that sort of stuff. But like, I don't know. I guess that would be mine. I think that idea is overrated. I think just create art and tell stories and do cool things
yes.
because you want to do them. And if it works and you become popular, amazing. Make that money, do your thing. But the idea of like, I need to influence and I need to make content and trendy.
it is
I don't
the
know.
influence part of it is the really weird part to me
Yeah, I mean,
just
yeah,
like because you're
yeah.
it's different if you're influencing someone because you're living your life authentically and doing really cool shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's another when you're like every product you're using and every place you're going is like a paid partnership.
Do you think that's dying out?
I think they're getting
You think
more
that people are
organic
like
about it. I think that they're
and people are
People
like,
are-
fuck this. Like,
People are starting to like realize like
Yeah.
there'll be something where somebody's like, oh, all these influencers are talking about this thing, but actually this thing is like not good. And it's
And
like
just
you realize like
you can discredit yourself by like
Yeah.
being able to be like paid off.
that's why there are a couple of people that I follow that I would consider influencers. And they're people who specifically like, they're like, this is not a paid thing. Like, I'm seriously like, there's Nina Poole. She does like dupes for like beauty hacks and like things like that. And it's just stuff where she knows the chemical compounds of something and she just goes, oh, like you buy this expensive like
oh, you've told me about this person. Yeah.
because it's like
That's
a
the
way
good
to-
kind- that's the opposite
I'm like,
of-
oh, you're trying to save people money instead of
She's
getting people to buy
de-influencing,
stuff.
yeah.
You're being influential by just sharing
Right.
what you want to
Yeah.
do, that sort
Like
of
if
thing.
there's,
Not, yeah.
when people are like, there's also that girl who does like I can't remember her name, but I remember she says, my name's blah, 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 and I share one positive thing a day. Like,
Oh,
that's
I've seen
something
that
where
girl's
I'm like,
videos.
I
Yeah.
enjoy that because I feel like I don't ever look at that. Like, she just tells a story about like something
Yeah.
that exists. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I don't know, paid partnership thing where you're like, okay, you're trying, like the influence
It's
she's having
the-
is just, I'm trying to make you feel
The
good.
intention behind it
Yeah.
is different than just like, I need to try and be famous so you think I'm cool and I can, whatever. Like, again, anybody can do whatever they want to be successful, fine. But there's a line of cringe and not cringe and authentic and inauthentic. And that's
100%.
my thing.
Yeah.
And if you guys think we're ever cringe, fuck you. You suck anyway.
That was
To the
We'll
right.
leave that to Ross.
That was way too like genuine. Because we just sat here and we were like,
I can't wait to watch that back in editing and see you guys be
falling
like,
over.
oh, okay.
I don't agree with this
Okay. So we just did the popular overrated. My turn, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No question. Just love the show. Thanks. Love you. Bye.
Thank you
Love
for
that.
saying
Yeah, that's
so.
really, really kind.
You
It
get the opposite
literally-
reaction of what I
yeah.
just gave.
Yeah.
Yeah, we enjoyed that, and we can all agree on that.
Yes.
Yes.
Instead
Thank you
of
very much.
One of us going off script.
Sorry, where are we at? Next question. That's right. Are the flowers real?
Yes.
Yeah. They bloomed at the beginning of
Yeah,
this
we set
season.
a date for the first recording, and they followed suit.
We water them, and they're kind of like the creeper from Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah,
They
just the season.
they sprout every so and so length of time. That's when it's time for us to do a new season.
And we
Yeah.
feed them
We
blood
just
to
listen
keep
to
them
the flowers.
hydrated.
We do. We feed them. Yes. Yeah. The flowers are a lot more in control of the show than one would think.
You
They're
said
going
it,
up,
brother.
they're going up our legs, and they're like puppeteering us.
Yeah, they're like, that would be really cool. Not in real life, but just,
Bring
for
some-
We need to
Sunlight.
stop
Yeah.
Like, what do
coming
they
up with
want? I don't know.
ideas while the camera's filming.
that's true because I
There's-
can't have more things to do.
Yeah, truly.
I already got to start Leah's children's show next. We got to go.
Oh my
So yes, the
gosh.
flowers are real. Thank you for asking.
Scary movie referrals, please. Most recently, Ross and I were just talking about Long Legs. We saw that one. Well, both of us separately have seen it. We did not watch it together.
Separately.
We don't hang out
here
outside of
we
the
go.
podcast.
Oh, here we go.
But
Forgot about that lore. I gotta get back
I
to
You
the
got to
actually-
lore. Yeah,
You got to rewatch the past
I
seasons
have
and get caught
to.
up.
I must.
yeah, how would you feel if I had an OnlyFans, Ross?
Wait a second.
Yeah, I feel like that was recently one that we watched. I watched Five Nights at Freddy's today. Thought that was
Today?
it was interesting. I enjoyed it. It was entertaining for sure. I never played the games though, so I was a little bit. There were a couple of times where I was like, "Why did they have to do that?" And Nick looked it up, and he's like, "Apparently, it's just like the game." And I was like, "Okay, well then that probably
We
makes
must
sense if
respect
you
this.
play the game."
Yes.
Yes.
But for me, I was like, "What? What is?" I felt like an old person. You know, like all the young kids, they've like played that game, and they like know what all the little and I'm like, "Now what?
What's that?
Now wait a second.
What did she say?"
Why did she say it like that? I don't.
She was in that other show.
She's on Jeopardy, right?
Wait a minute. I've seen her in my program.
My program.
I've seen her in my
Go to
other
Channel
program.
5.
I love that all of us are really stressed old women. Pull to Channel 5, please. Go there
I need to
quick.
see what's coming on at 8.
What the news say? I
This
need to
isn't my
watch-
Hallmark movies.
Where's my Hallmark programs? This isn't what I want to watch.
And they say the words like rubbish.
Yeah.
This-
Warsh. I got a
Warsh.
warsh.
Warsh is good.
Yeah. Thank
Gotta
you.
watch my program before I wash the clothes tomorrow because I shit my pants.
You are now like a guy from New York City, like an 8-year-old. 8-year-old? No, 80-year-old.
Hello. I'm 8 years old. Fuck you. I just shit my pants.
Oh my god.
Then your grandma over here. We need to worship.
We gotta wash his pants. We gotta make it home for the program.
Okay. If anyone hears any farting noise, it's me scooting my phone across the table. and I'll never learn my lesson. I will keep scooting it. For me, movies referrals. Just watch Mr. Crockett. It's a Hulu original. Very good. And the other one I said, Salem's Lot. Very scary. Something that's like campy and scary, and then something that was genuinely scary.
Yeah. Long Legs. I finally recently watched that. Highly suggest going and watching that. A really deep cut that no one's probably ever heard of is a movie that I gave a random shot 2 months ago called Dark Harvest. Sounds and kind of looks like it'd be a really crappy like C-list horror movie. Surprisingly really fun concept. Like hit the like Halloween nostalgic vibe. Like, honestly, like if it's Halloween when you listen to this or anywhere around the season, very much fits
Dark
the vibe.
Harvest. What's it on?
Okay.
It's a great question, and I don't remember where it's at. But a quick Google will solve that for
Yeah.
anybody listening at home. Dark Harvest seems like it wouldn't be much. Fits like spooky season vibes
Love it.
so perfectly, and it feels like an old nostalgic, like very like Pumpkinhead type of movie, like that vibe. Yeah. So yeah, highly recommend. I was pleasantly surprised.
Okay. For me, Brittany, tips on parenthood. Well, the last time I talked about this, I probably had a 3 and a 2-year-old, and now I have a
17,
3 and a 5-year-old as of like in 2 weeks. I don't know. I just have really realized that it all like there, as we all know, every single child is different, and there's no like manual that you can follow. I think my biggest tip is to like, as I was saying earlier, literally get down on their level and like experience life with them, because it puts you in a better headspace. It keeps you like where they are and kind of like
walk on your knees.
You need to put on children's shoes. Walk a mile.
And shit your pants once in a while.
Every once in a while.
Walk a mile in those light up Velcro shoes.
Winry has Frozen light up ones. Ambrose has Paw Patrol.
Incredible.
Yeah, I know that sounds super silly, but I think that like it's easy to get jaded when I'm like home all day, and it's easy to feel like it's a thankless job because there's no money in it. But like genuinely seeing them turn into like actual humans and getting down there and seeing what they see, and not just like, oh, this is like a cute little thing kids doing, like genuinely getting down there and being like, oh, you really think you're like a pop star right now, or you really think you're Spider-Man. Like that's literally what, selfishly, that is what it is about for me. So that would be my tip, is to just get down on the ground.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah, literally.
Get down on the ground.
The second part of this is if Ross and Leah, not collectively, whether or not you guys want children.
What a great second part to that. This has been a real topic of conversation that has come up in life lately with Krista, of what that looks like and what the possibilities are and where we're at with it. I would say I'm a steady like 50-50. 50% of me is like, that would be incredibly magical, and I would love to be called dad by a child and see a child grow up and do all the things. And then another 50% of me is like, it's actually kind of totally okay if that doesn't happen. And even though anybody can do anything in their life with children, people have done it all the time. There is a part of me that's like the almost life that I've built and want. There is a part of me that's like, a kid would actually probably make this a lot harder. Mm-hmm. And I kind of like having full autonomy over anything that I do all the time, and just getting to continue to do all the different ideas and all the things and all that sort of stuff. Again, that's a very selfish answer, but like...
But you should answer that question selfishly.
Yeah, well, because if you think about it, right now you are just a person. Mm-hmm. So like you should be thinking about how it would be affecting you, because when it becomes you and, another person and a tiny human that needs you to literally survive. Yeah. It's like, that's not the time you get to be selfish. It's like, it's too late for that now. Yeah, so and you should be selfish before that is.
Yeah. And there's like a tiny kind of worry in the back of my mind too, where I'm like, I enjoy doing all the things that I do. And there's a part of me that thinks like, if I had a baby, I literally would be like, fuck all of that stuff. I only care about this child, which is great ultimately. Yeah. But I am like, I actually kind of fear that I would literally be like, I don't care about any of the rest of this stuff.
Yeah, lots of people lose themselves for a long time.
Yeah, like I don't care if I ever do any of this stuff.
Because you make something new that you focus on.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yes. So yeah, I would say I'm currently very 50-50. I'm 50% of me is like, that would be the most incredible thing ever. And then 50% of me is like, I don't know. I would kind of like to just maybe chill the rest of life and just hang out.
Yeah.
Listen, they got really cute, tiny fucking shoes that they make. And like sometimes I'll see those and I'm like, oh man, I could put a baby in this. Like you just see stuff like that and you're like, oh, it might be worth it. Like you'll experience other people's kids who like make your heart melt, or like stuff like that. And there are so many times where like those types of things hit me where I'm like, oh, I might not ever have this for myself. But like I also can look at that and be like, but I also get to go home and continue doing life how I'm doing it right now, which I think is what's the best thing for me at the moment. And I think getting back into the part of my life where I'm being selfish, like creating music and doing the things that like I want to do, I do feel like if I had a kid, at least anytime soon, that I'd probably do the same thing where I'd be like, well, this is like way more important. So I'm like not going to be focusing on that thing. But my problem is when I step away, if I'm not giving 100% to something, I'm usually not giving anything to it. So like if I stepped away from the stuff that I really want to do right now to do something that I don't really know if I even want to do ever, I just don't think it would work out the way that I would want it to.
Yeah.
Or like I would always have a lot of like what ifs.
Yeah.
If it happened, like if there was like an accident, which at this point, literally, I think if Nick and I had a kid, it would just be like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And if it happened, like I would be like super mom. Like I'd be like all about it, and I would be so stoked and like I said, put 100% into it. So like if it did happen, I wouldn't be upset, and I would be more than happy to shift. But like
But actively making that decision is a really big decision when you're not.
I don't know if I would ever get to a point where I want to try to have kids. If it ever just like happens, I feel like that would be like, oh, hey, sick, like this was meant for us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't, I'd be like, okay, sick, like I have lots of other things that fill my cup.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love that.
Yes.
Great question.
We love that.
Who?
It's you.
Me? The grief episode was helpful and wouldn't mind another one on that subject.
We'll just cry.
Ooh, yeah.
right
You
now
want us to? Yeah. We'll just do the next hour of this episode talking about the saddest things we could think of. Well, one, I'm glad that the grief episode was helpful to you in some way. I'm glad that if listening to other people talk about how they process or what they've been through helped you experience something. Love that. That's the coolest thing that I think this podcast could do for anybody, is help you feel like you're connected or not alone in some way. Wouldn't mind another one on that subject. I would do another
I think
grief episode. I feel like
literally talked about how there would need to be a part 2. And
yeah. I oddly feel like I didn't. In that episode, I kind of almost feel like I didn't share the way I wanted to share, almost.
Sometimes it's hard, like, when you're thinking about stuff like that, especially, like, when it comes to grief, especially that episode, like, obviously I got really, really emotional on that. But sometimes it's hard to, like, dive into the hard stuff without feeling like you're bringing, like, the mood down. You know what I mean? Like, for me to be sitting there and, like choking back like cries or whatever, I was like, I'm ruining the podcast.
Yeah, no. Well, that was the point of the. Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, I get what you mean, where it feels like you're kind of like, oh, I didn't get to like necessarily say all the things that like I was feeling in that.
Because I think both of you know how much of a crier I am about literally anything.
Barely got.
And I barely cried in that episode, and I was really expecting to let loose there.
You might have been lying about crying for all I know.
Lying about crying. That's the new country song. I'm sitting on the front porch and she's gone.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we fucking go.
Somebody's about to lose a limb.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It was
like I was going to sing about it?
Yeah.
There's
got a peg leg.
Her and her peg leg hopped off into the sunset.
Oh, God, where are we?
When I'm lying, I'm crying.
So, yes, 100% grief 2.0.
Yes.
There's always reasons to cry. We will get that on the books for you.
Yep, there you go.
Okay. The next question is, have you ever had a run-in with the police? If so, what's the story?
Ooh. Who's on the run right now? Who is a criminal? Thank you for dancing to that song. I appreciate that.
I'm glad the listeners at home can really appreciate my dancing. I don't know if I've ever had a run-in with the police. I have like been pulled over for speeding or like something like that, or I had like random stuff where like you have to call them for like, I don't know. Oh, there was a guy like peeping Tom through my window one time. Have I told that story on here? No.
Oh
okay.
My God.
So my house back home has like this big giant window in the front, kind of like my house has now, but like not as big of like a front yard. I was like in a neighborhood, and I was on the couch watching TV with a boy. it was like my boyfriend at the time, and I remember always saying like, oh, I always get freaked out. Like my mom had these like wispy white like 2000s like curtains. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's like, what is this like tissue paper? You can see through them and whatever. Correct. But I'd always be like, oh, I like to close these because like, I don't know, I'm always afraid like I'm gonna look and like somebody's out there, jokingly. And then literally like at one point like looked out onto my front porch, and there was a man standing.
Whoa.
And it was just a silhouette, like literally couldn't see the person. And it was like this moment where all of a sudden he saw that I saw him, and I started freaking out. And my boyfriend was like, what? And I was like, there's somebody outside. And he's like, you're not serious. And I was like, no, I'm 100% serious. He's like, you're probably just thinking that because earlier you said that thing about like how it would be scary.
Like, right.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, there is somebody literally, he walked, like I watched him walk. He's like hiding in the bushes right there. And so he's like putting his shoes on, like trying to get outside or whatever. And he had like cut through like behind some houses and then like walked down the street. And so I just, because of the situation, I was like, I didn't know what they could even do.
Right.
But like I called the police to like let them know. Like I feel like there have been things like that, like random things like that, where it wasn't like
you weren't the criminal.
You weren't the
like I've interacted with cops before.
I guess spoken to a cop before.
I've had things stolen from me and had to make a report, when my phone got stolen at work.
Right. But never, you haven't had a specific run-in with the police.
That's what I mean is like, that's probably my craziest story that I've got, I guess.
Right.
And the police showed up eventually. Like I called the police, I guess, but it wasn't like, anything.
I have a crazy story about that, but I can save it for maybe another episode.
Ooh, a teaser.
If I can figure out how to finagle it in. But my only run-in with the cops was I was like probably 16, and me and my friend Riley at the time were TPing houses.
Nice.
And I remember TPing like it was actually like an apartment, like a townhouse kind of, so like attached to other people's. And then we very much could see the cops looking for us with like their lights on, but no sirens, going around neighborhoods. And we would just like run from like spot to spot, hiding from them.
That sounds kind of fun.
It was very fun. And then we got back to her house and realized we locked ourselves out, so we had to sleep on the trampoline.
Ooh, karma.
Yeah. It was a really fucking fun night. Her dad used to like let us drive the cars like around the property. We had to have been under 16 because we were not licensed when we were whipping around to Dairy Queen down the street.
Wow.
Yeah, but that was really fun, and I'm really glad that the cops did not actually get to us.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't either.
You wouldn't be here today. You'd be serving hard time.
I mean, better that they catch you TPing than driving to Dairy Queen unlicensed.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
If I had to pick one.
Have you ever had a run-in with the police? You guys ever heard of a little story called D.B. Cooper?
No.
Oh, well. If you have, that wasn't me. No fun story with them.
That wasn't me.
that wasn't me. So.
No. I don't really have there was like one time.
We're good guys.
Yeah, we're all good people. We're good guys here. I don't know. There was like one sort of time where like some friends and I were walking around our hometown, and like I guess a policeman didn't want us to be out super late, and like he kind of was like looking for us, and we like sort of hid around a building, which was honestly very fun.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Like that level of hide and seek.
Once in your life.
It's kind
For the love of God,
it's honestly kind of fun.
Wow, we're being
very
really bad,
we're being very like that person right now.
Depends.
But that wasn't even like, that's not a run-in with but that's just like a cop's who, hey, boys, get home fucking right now. Yeah. And then that would have been it. So yeah, unfortunately, no. I steer clear. No big conspiracies here.
I steer clear.
Yep. Oh. Who was that?
That was me.
You, Brittany.
Okie dokie. What have you learned about each other from? Okay, I don't know how to read. Each other most from 3 seasons.
I learned that Brittany doesn't know how to read.
I learned that we're done with the 3rd season, apparently. So news to me. I learned that today.
I learned that they argue a lot.
Let's see. I think I don't know. I think the thing that I take away the most is like just like our like chemistry and compatibility when we're talking.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot about both of you, more than I could say just like sitting here and like regurgitating things that you've told me. But I think that we just like work really well together as a team, and we couldn't have known that before we started this. Right. You know what I mean? Like we genuinely learned that over time.
Yeah. This could have went south real quick.
It could have just not worked.
Could have just sucked to do.
Yeah,
but luckily
100%.
It has worked. Yeah, the chemistry. That's probably a cop-out answer that I'm just going to steal from you. I would agree with that because I don't really know. I can't think of specifics that
Nothing has shocked me. You know what I mean? I've learned.
Yeah.
I feel like what I learned most about you guys is just like literally who you are. Like not just about like who you are as like a person like on the outside of like, oh, this is my friend Ross who like does all these cool things, and like this is Brittany who I only know from the internet, and like this is the perception I have of like who she would be as a person. And it's like we now know each other on a deep enough level that like I know more about you guys and you know more about me than like people that I probably see on like a regular basis, just because we like have these conversations.
Yeah,
you know
we
what I mean?
literally
like,
sit down to have conversations that no one else is having.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that that's different. Like there are so many people out there who like I might have called a best friend at one point that don't know half the stuff that you guys know just because.
Well, something about our podcast is like we don't have a theme where we talk about like something specific that's happening in the world that we're detached from other than we love it. We just come on here and talk about ourselves. So we have learned a lot of stuff.
That's true. This podcast is just the ultimate we're hanging out, what are we talking about tonight sort of thing. So yeah, it has been a free flow of just like, oh yeah, we're learning. Yeah.
Hopefully that's not a cop out and it's what you're looking for as far as
I think that was a great answer.
What we've learned
it's the truth
about each other most.
Yes. I feel like that is the perfect answer. Perfect way to answer that.
Was that you?
It was me.
Okay. Dog or cat person? At one point in time, I would have been like, I think I'm a dog person, but I happened to get a cat because that was simpler. And for those of you not watching at home, Leah just pulled a curly hair off of one of my fingers.
That made it worse than if you got to visually see it.
I would have been like, I think I'm like relatively a dog person who happened to get a cat. Now I think I'm absolutely a cat person. I don't dislike dogs, but now living with a dog and seeing how the dog interacts with my cat and bullies her and chases her around and doesn't like her and wants to devour her, I'm like, fuck dogs. I think I have for sure. And now even being around a dog of like, what you like letting them out or hearing them lick their fucking gooch for 10 minutes. I'm like,
you're a cat person. We got it.
Yes. I think I have officially settled into I am a cat person. Yes. Doesn't mean I dislike I love dogs. I love to pet them. I love little dogs, but I'm a cat person.
I'm a dog person with cats. So I've had to like adjust because I grew up with dogs my whole life, and having cats, first of all, I'm allergic. So I take the shots. And I honestly, when you avoid them, they like you more. And I think that they love me way more when I like don't treat them how I would treat a dog. But that's my problem is like, I'm a dog person with cats. So like I see a cat and I'm like, let me love you. And they're like, please, please don't. And my dogs are like, give me all the love that you can. Like squeeze me until I'm unconscious. My cats are like, please put the food in the bowl
and walk away
and then leave me be.
And never speak to me again.
And don't interrupt my nap later. So
I'm a cat person. I have a love for dogs, but I love my cats so much. And I just didn't really have dogs growing up. I had cats. And then like my first ever, my pets were cats. And they're the most perfect animals that exist.
So great. I love cats.
So I just am a cat person.
I feel like we lucked out with cats too.
Yeah, we all have good cats.
We all have real good cats.
Because there's some people out there that just unfortunately live with demons.
Yes.
I'm like check in after like 10 years. Once
but
they hit like
I need to show you my bruise from Dennis.
Do you have a bruise?
Yes.
Not on camera.
The other day I was like, why does the back of my calf hurt so bad?
He did that to somebody else and he left a bruise.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
But it
dogs
was so
being
fast.
dogs.
See, No, but he's still cute with his little fucking underbite.
He literally will run up behind you and shove a toy into your cap.
That's amazing.
Like,
I wish that's what happened to me. He used my cap as the toy.
He also, if you're not paying attention to him when you like arrive, he will just like try to grab you.
Yeah, he just wanted me to stop. That's all. He just needed me to like take a beat.
Amazing.
He said, "I'm just gonna hold you back."
Yeah. Oh gosh. I'm sorry though.
No, I was laughing about it.
We are on our final question.
Oh my gosh.
I'm glad we didn't end on cats and dogs. And I'm like,
Yeah.
your dog bit me.
Dog bit me.
Your dog bit me. Yeah, no, that is not our final question. But who I think, is it back to Leah? I just did the dog or cat person, right?
This is good. This
Wow.
all worked out like the way
That's
that
nice.
we each read the questions
Yep.
about ourselves.
And
This
now
all
we're
worked out
back in the
beautifully.
center seat. This is really good. So Leah, our final question of this episode.
Hi. Would love a new episode updating who you guys are now compared to original episodes.
More of a statement than a question, but I
Yes.
love it.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty good. Like,
I feel like for me, I actually was thinking about this earlier today when I was trying to figure out talking points for other episodes we're doing, so we don't go into it blindly because those ones end up so well. And I realized that in like other seasons, some things I was like super opinionated on that I don't care as much about, like. You know what I mean? That I would get like too, not necessarily worked up about, but like thinking back on, I'm like, man, I like would have died on that hill that I like now that don't care. So I think that like over time, I don't hold as many like strong opinions. I think back about, this is not what they were looking for, but like, I think about like the religious episode and I was probably like said some shit that I shouldn't have said in that. When I think about things that are like cemented on this podcast, you know what I mean? And our views and opinions can and do change, but like the previous episodes are cemented. And if someone doesn't ask something like this, there's no follow up unless we decide to make one.
Yeah.
And we've had so many episodes of things that like, I think we've all changed since the first, all of our lives are in different like positions. We've all done different things since the first episode. This is our third studio. This is our third space. That's something that has changed. But I don't think there's anything. I think that we are still like the podcast. I feel like feels the same. I think that's something to speak. Like even when my opinions have changed on things, the way that we like our conversations flow, all of that has stayed the same. I just think back on some things and I'm like, I need to stop talking like a know-it-all is mine.
yeah, I mean, it's hard when you get a microphone in front of you
It
and
is
you're
so
like,
hard.
oh, you want my opinion? It's about time. and then
here
you're
it
like,
goes.
yeah, here
Yeah.
it goes.
So I think it's a learning curve. I think I've over the seasons learned to sit back and sometimes like listen more because I think in the beginning it was so like, okay, I'm hearing you, but I'm also thinking about what my response is going to be.
I definitely think too much about like the perception of it. You know what I mean? Like there are so many things where it's like, oh, like, yeah, maybe I think about it later, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have worded that way. Like maybe people might take it this way or something like that. And so I think through season 1, we did it like, I was like so excited. I would talk over people and I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to like calm down a little bit, you know, and like let people have their moment and then I will have my moment. Like it's okay. But I definitely feel like, yeah, there's stuff where I'm sure I would look back and be like, ooh, not my shining star moment, you know, like, or like, yeah, just the perception of like, I wonder how, I know how I meant that and I didn't convey it well enough that I think anybody listening to this will know what I meant.
There's always good intention in every episode that we've come out with, except for maybe like the ick one, because I do want to stand by whatever I said in that one, I'm sure. I don't remember, but I stand by it.
I remember the bro one. I stand by a lot of what I said. Yeah.
It's all a blur to me now.
But yeah, it's definitely like the perception, but I feel like because we don't judge each other, it's easy for us to just like go off on our tangents. Whereas like when you are having a conversation out in the real world, you really have to curate it to the person you're talking to, know like your audience in that way. And like we don't know who's listening. We're just talking to each other.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it comes out a little bit more unfiltered, which can be good and can be like something that maybe we need to text Ross and have him delete a whole episode. Who can say?
We're finding out some information here. Better go back in the archives now and listen to everything because there might be some getting deleted. I don't know. We'll find out.
Oh man. Yeah. I just feel like as far as like who we are now compared to original episodes, like anybody would change over this amount of time. It's been 1.5 years, right? A little bit longer.
Why does it feel like
that?
so much longer
feels
than
like
that?
No, it's been... What?
Two
Where am I?
2 years in February, so a little bit over 1.5 years.
Is that really it? I would have assumed 3 years.
Well, we're
because
about
there's
to
3
hit
seasons, so I feel
Yeah.
like that's why. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So we started at the beginning of 2023.
2023, yeah.
And then,
And
okay.
then
So
we're at the
almost
end of
2 years.
2024, yeah. We're in February. February 14th is when we originally...
Launched, yeah.
So...
Okay, so yeah, almost
Yeah.
2 years. Wow, I would have assumed
But it feels,
was
but that's what I mean. It feels like it's been so much longer than that because
Yeah.
all of our lives have drastically changed.
Yeah.
This has just been like, yeah, I think a big crazy 1.5 years or almost 2 years or whatever for all of us individually and together. Like you said, third new space. But what I like and what's consistent is, yeah, like you said, we kind of can come back to this and it feels like even if I don't see you guys for like, months at a time, I'm like, oh, like I still really like Brittany and Ross. Like they still have like that, like I still have that camaraderie where I don't feel like I come back to it like, is this going to be weird? Like,
Oh, yeah,
I don't
no.
have,
Yeah.
like I don't
Right.
have
I
that.
don't have that either, and that's very hard for me because I can't even like go through a drive-through without being like, "Fuck, I gotta talk to this person." So
I feel like we all have like the capacity to like get social anxiety, which we will have an episode about.
yeah,
Yeah.
So I feel like it's nice though to have that kind of connection where we're all like able to like feel comfortable, and that has never really changed. It was weird that like from the get-go we had that.
yeah. We didn't
Which I
have to
think
work for
is-
it, which is
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And I mean, I feel like even from my perspective, being the one that was like, do you guys want to do this new podcast with me and make this show? Like coming into that, I wanted it ideally to feel that way where it was like, this is just three friends hanging out, talking about, I mean, that's obviously like the tagline of the show, but it's like three friends talking about life. And that's just what it is. Cause like, my other show that's like interview based, it's very much like, I want people to learn something from this and I want them to like have these deep life talks and all this sort of stuff. And so for me, I was like, oh, this can't be too similar. I want it to feel way more casual. So hopefully that like mixture of stuff is there of like, oh yeah, we can just sit and we can just talk and it's not like the biggest deal in the world. And we're not worrying about whether someone's getting a life lesson from leaving something. And even for me, I'm like, I just want to have different types of conversations in different ways.
Yeah.
And so I feel like we were able to like lean into that pretty quickly of like, oh
Right.
yeah, this is more casual.
Yes.
Like way more of a casual feeling. And it's
But
not,
I can say for sure, like when we first talked about it, I was like, I don't know if this is going to even be like something that we can like do for more than one. You know what I mean? Like at first when you brought it up, I
Yeah,
was
like, how many things can we
I was
talk
like,
about?
well, what do you mean talk about our feelings? Like, like what do we do? What are we going to talk about? Like, but and then also being like, well, I don't know Brittany. Like we're just gonna like talk about our deepest, darkest.
Yeah,
like,
this literally was
fears
me
and,
being
like,
like,
stuff.
I think you'll
So,
be
like,
friends, and let's
yeah,
see if
and it was it was a great call, but it could have.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have gone.
oh, it could have not worked.
like,
Like-
imagine, and we're equally all as funny. I do give you guys
Uh-huh,
the credit
uh-huh.
for
I
being
feel
as
like I'm
funny
the
as
least
me.
funny one.
No, I think that we all hold our weight on the funniness of this show, and the
Yeah.
It makes me
funniness
feel
is
so
just
good.
a
Yeah.
bonus, like to like whatever our
You're
conversations
welcome.
are.
You're welcome
So
for us being
funny.
hilarious.
Uh-huh.
I
There
just
you
got
go.
confirmed that I was really funny.
I just got confirmed that I was the funniest one on the show.
Thank you guys so much for voting me the funniest
I went
one.
from the least funny to the most
Yeah.
funny
You guys
in
think
my
I'm the
own
most
mind.
funny one? Oh my god, thank you.
You like me. You
Yeah.
really like me.
Yeah, so that's what we found out. We do like each other.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
For
And
sure.
and me dragging friends into a new creative endeavor didn't destroy friendships.
Yeah.
It did
Yeah,
not.
that's true.
You guys could have
This is
easily
the
been like,
proof.
The night
Yeah.
is young, though, so
correct. I think Brittany did say we weren't doing the rest of season 3 earlier this episode. So that's that's pretty much it. Yeah, I feel like we have there's obviously been a ton of life change and all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff, but I feel like the feeling of the show hasn't changed, which is very cool.
yeah.
And it's just been fun to like continuously do new episodes, share those new perspectives, share those new opinions, share those new levels of like life on where we're at. And the cooler thing that now the show has been around for almost 2 years, we've now like the friendship extends out into like the community we've built of people who listen to this show. And like, it's like, not to peel back the curtain too much, but like it does well. It does like better than what I've assumed it was going to when we started. You know, I was like, oh yeah, like nobody in my audience will care for me to have a third show, so it's not going to be my people who are going to listen to this. But I'm like, oh, like the audiences that you guys have brought in, I feel like they've been welcomed into kind of like a new style of, I mean, a lot of people like podcasts, but it gave them something new to connect with.
Yeah.
And I do think that like even people that may have followed me from other things that I do actually was like, oh no, this is a different version of Ross, actually. This isn't like entrepreneur Ross or comedian Ross. This is just like, life talk Ross. Like,
it allows people to see a side of you that they don't see because normally you have some form of a like hat on. Like in your other podcasts, you are, you have like those deep life talks with people, but you're like the interviewer. Like you're not going into your personal experiences with stuff. And I feel like it's nice that your community can come into this and be like, oh, like I just thought of Ross as like this kind of person because this is the only thing I know from him. And now I have this different kind of like, I don't know, like well-rounded, like it's not behind the scenes, but like and you know when
you're playing a character essentially on all of your other shows.
And you know when you don't get to see your friends for a long time, it's like people have literally told me like I feel like I'm just like sitting and hanging out with you
guys. This is the only way anyone sees me.
That's actually very
true. They gotta get on YouTube to find me.
The only way people can keep up to date with Brittany is a new season of Honestly Same, which honestly, a great selling point.
Thanks.
That's great.
You want to know what I'm up to? Check out my podcast.
That's honestly the best thing you could tell anybody. But yeah, we made it to season 3, you guys.
We even made it.
We made it through all these
of the first episode.
Different studios, and the wall is thankfully regrown each time we plant it. I feel like with this wall, we're leaning into some Poltergeist lore territory here. We're starting to build, so I don't know if we should keep going with that or not.
I think we should.
We should, almighty wall. What would you?
The pod gods.
The pod gods have blessed us with the ability to do 3 seasons, and they blessed you with 3 whole seasons. Well, it's not whole yet. Exactly.
I know. Everyone's like 3rd season in the books. I'm like, where?
Well, people do want to stay up to date with how this third season does come to fruition. If people would like to understand where the 3rd season comes from, Brittany, where can they find it?
Honestly Same Pod.
At Honestly Same Pod online. Leah, where can they follow and subscribe? What platforms can they find this show on?
I feel like I'm taking a test right now. YouTube. Instagram. I know.
Oh, I was like, oh my God, she's blanking. Test anxiety is here.
So YouTube, Spotify, Apple, iTunes. Well, what's it called? Apple Podcasts now?
Yes.
I don't use that one. I'm sorry. YouTube, Instagram, all the things. Do we have a TikTok?
All the stuff. We don't have a TikTok.
We don't have a
TikTok was made, but we don't upload on that because we're all elder millennials. So we're not gonna do that. I don't want to. You guys like TikTok. I don't like TikTok. You don't have TikTok anymore, Brittany.
I did like it.
Leah, it's up to you.
What?
Folks, if you would like us to be active on TikTok, let Leah know. Tag us at Honestly Same Pod.
HMU, and I will, and then I'll force Ross to like cook some things up that I can post on there.
We'll let Leah know. She'll let Ross know.
Yep. If there's anything,
my people talk to your people.
If there's anything you guys would like more of from this show that I need to do, let the girls know, and they will let me know that I need to work a little bit harder. But until then, that was the beginning of a brand new season.
I'm going to push the button.
Okay.